Bills had 4 turnovers in that game. 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles lost. This season, Buffalo, 18 turnovers, tied for second most in the National Football League, as we head back to Orchard Park for reaction from Dave Naylor, our Bills reporter. Dave, just a stunning loss. I cannot imagine how the Mafia is dealing with this right now. It's got to be devastating for them. They're 5-5, but it wasn't even really that they were beat by the Broncos, was it, Dave? I mean, they basically beat themselves in this one.
Yeah, they certainly did. I mean, this was just a fundamentally unsound game by the Buffalo Bills. I mean, 3 turnovers in the first half. I mean, they have another one early in the third quarter for 4, and they turned the ball over on downs, Jay. In Canada, we count turnover on downs as a turnover. In the NFL, they don't. So the stats sheet will say 4. We know it was really 5. And, you turn over the ball 4 or 5 times a game, you're not going to win, Moffitt. But it was more than that. I mean, you had a Stephon Diggs drop tonight. You had a Dalton Kincaid drop tonight. You had a Latavius Murray drop tonight. And this is really puzzling because one of the things I've learned to appreciate covering the Buffalo Bills week after week the last couple of seasons is how often you hear Sean McDermott preach fundamentals. Doesn't matter if it's a big game, a regular game on the schedule. He's always talking about taking care of the little things and good fundamental and situational football. And the Bills, frankly, were sloppy tonight, and there were bad situational choices. We saw it at the end of both halves. I mean, Josh Allen throws a pass to a non-primary receiver in Deontay Hardy right before halftime that gets picked. That turns into 3 points for Denver before the half instead of 3 for Buffalo. That's the difference in the game. And then, of course, the coup de grace, the 12 men on the field, a la Saskatchewan Rough Rider Grey Cup 2009, to give them another shot and put the game away. It was sloppy, fundamentally poor football start to finish for the Bills tonight.
I knew someone would bring up that Saskatchewan blunder, and I knew it was going to be you, Dave. That makes perfect sense. Dave, you mentioned it. You followed this team for a couple of years now, week in, week out. You've been with them since training camp. So many expectations on this team going into the season, and now they're a 500 team along with like the Las Vegas Raiders. Dave, is this Buffalo Bills team a playoff team?
Jay, I don't think they are. And that's stunning to say when you think of where we were on the 1st of October. On this very field, the Buffalo Bills beat the Miami Dolphins that day by 28 points, 4-touchdown victory. That put them at 3-1. If you looked at that schedule and what was coming up in the next 6 games, you would have said this team would have a pretty good chance to go 7-3, 8-2. I mean, really, the only tough team on their schedule was the Cincinnati Bengals, who they lost to in a 1-score game on the road last week. But they're 2-4 over that stretch. The 2 games they've won, both here at Orchard Park, one against the Giants, one against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and both those games came down to the bitter end, right down into the end zone, throws into the end zone. So it's been a long time since the Buffalo Bills dominated a team. Yes, they are undermanned on defense. I think everybody understands that. They had 5 starters of their 11 on the field tonight that were starters in week number 1. But really, it's been the defense that's been keeping this team in games while the offense tries to keep up. And look, they're missing some dynamic plays on defense. You saw it tonight when there were some 3rd and long plays in the 4th quarter. They had 2 on both touchdown drives at the end, both scoring drives at the end of the game for the Broncos. They had them in 3rd and long, couldn't get them off the field, including on that play where they sold out and played cover 0 and got the pass interference penalty to Taron Johnson. But, I mean, this is just another game where the Bills lost the turnover ratio. They're not creating turnovers. I mean, they've got 2 takeaways in their last 5 games. They have now gone 6 games without an interception. That is a dubious franchise record, Jay. And we know the number 1 indicator of wins and losses in the National Football League is winning the turnover battle. The Bills are losing the turnover battle week after week, and you can't do that and call yourself a playoff team.
And now they've got, after the Jets, the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Cowboys. It just gets tougher for the Buffalo Bills. There's Dave Naylor on the field at Orchard Park.